Okay, we're recording. So good morning, good afternoon to everybody. This webinar today is to introduce you as our dealers around the world to our new product that we're launching today for fundamental fluids. Okay, so we're going to take you through a presentation about our new product. We're going to explain a little about the benefits and features of this product. We're going to talk about the curriculum and the learning objectives of the product. We're going to talk about what we have available to you as our valued dealers and distributors around the world, and how you can go out there and pitch this to your customers and hopefully sell lots of these. So just bear with me. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Nidal from Palestine, good morning, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Nice to hear from you. Okay, so you should now be able to see our introducing fundamental fluids opening screen there. So I'm just going to get something on my screen so I have. Okay, so we're going to go through a number of slides. There's not too many of these. This is a product that we've been very excited to launch over the past number of months. We first introduced you guys as our distributors and dealers to this product before the summer. However, due to the, or indeed in the circumstances that you're in the Southern Hemisphere before the winter, but we wanted to do a proper launch in September of this particular product, as it kind of fits into the new semester, the new term of teaching and the new academic years around the globe. So that's why we held off to do an official release on this product this week. So we're going to go through a number of slides. We're going to talk a little bit about how this product fits into the Matrix ecosystem of products, how it fits into our new offerings for mechanical engineering. We're going to talk about which areas of education we envisage this product being sold to. So we'll talk a little about that. We're going to talk about the main features, the main benefits, and what's included in this product. We're going to then move on to talk about the learning objectives and, importantly, the curriculum. And finally, any supporting documentation, etc., that is available to you as our dealers to go out there and sell this. Afterwards, we're going to run a short demonstration. So the team that I have here with me, there's myself, Alistair's here as well. Many of you, of course, know Alistair as he works with you day to day. I've also got our mechanical engineer, Michael, who has been paramount and central to the development of this particular product over the past number of months. He's the one who's going to run the demonstration. And I'm also joined today by a new colleague of ours, Xing Wang, who has graduated this year from University of Leeds here in the UK and is joining us on this webinar as a new colleague here at Matrix. So welcome to him as well. Okay. So first of all, I just want to touch upon how this product fits into the ecosystem of Matrix products. And I will be trying to communicate this with you a lot over the months ahead, both in the marketing materials that we produce and put online and send out to you, and also in the webinars and the meetings like this that take place. The graphic that you see on screen here is one that you'll be very much familiar with, because we've got it in the latest Matrix product guide. It's one that we've used on other presentations as well. This outlines the main areas where Matrix have products. And you can see from the purple graphics and the purple boxes on that graphic that engineering is central to everything that we do. Now, fluids is a product that fits into the mechanical engineering offering. So the central lozenge that you see on the graphic in front of you. What we have though at present is a really nice range of products in electrical engineering. So this is where Matrix has been working for a number of years, for decades in fact. Products for microcontrollers, for circuits, for electronics and things like this. we've had that range of products in place for a number of years, and still about half of our sales to the education market are for electrical engineering type products. However, there's a change happening at Matrix, and that is a change we definitely feel for the better. Whilst the sales of our electrical products are undoubtedly growing, we're also seeing a number of other areas becoming more and more popular for our products. So manufacturing engineering, you can see the products that we have here. Products for a study of smart factory systems, Industry 4.0, PLCs, process control, which also fits a little into mechanical engineering, CNCs, etc., pneumatics. That now accounts for about 25% of overall Matrix sales. And other areas, mechanical, aviation, automotive, etc., account for the other 25%. However, what we see happening and a position that we are aiming to be in the future is a position where all areas grow. However, we feel strongly now that with the portfolio that we've got for mechanical engineering, that mechanical and manufacturing engineering will probably account for at least a quarter each of all Matrix sales. Electrical may reduce in terms of its proportion of all Matrix sales, but there will still be strong growth there. And then automotive and aviation, where we're going to be launching some exciting new products, will make up the remaining percentage of sales for Matrix products. We now have a very comprehensive range of products for mechanical engineering. These are aimed at predominantly the college and early university years of study. Also, somewhat into the high schools market, particularly with fundamental mechanics, and particularly in markets such as the US. But we are aiming these products at students aged from about 16 to 19, 20 years old. Okay, so what I want to touch on next is indeed fluid mechanics. Many of you will, of course, be familiar with fluids and fluid mechanics because you'll have other products, perhaps from other suppliers that touch on this area or allow you to go into these markets. But for those that aren't familiar, to give you a very simple statement, fluid mechanics is the study of fluid behavior. In our case, it's the study of liquids, but also gases, blood, plasmas, etc., both at rest and in motion. Fluid mechanics has a wide range of applications. Primarily, we're going to be aiming these products at mechanical engineering, but we also see learning outcomes in chemical engineering departments within colleges and universities as well, as in biological systems and astrophysics. So to focus more on what Matrix have to offer here, before we look in a little more detail at the product, our fluids range gives students a hands-on understanding of key principles, okay? The main workstation, which again, you'll see in a few moments when we move on, is supplied with 16 separate components. These comprise of hoses, tubes, and other components, which again, you'll see, and these allow students to build 9 different experiments without any need for additional tools. 6 of the experiments are connected via USB to pressure and flow sensors, which allows for data acquisition to take place and results to automatically be plotted on a graph for further analysis by the students. There are then a number of other experiments which are carried out and plotted manually. On this slide, I've embedded a video, okay? I won't play it now. I'm sure many of you might have already seen this video, but this is our first introductory video for the fluids, fundamental fluids product range. This is available on our YouTube and it's on our website where this whole product range is already available for you to view. What we will be doing in the weeks ahead is we will have a specific week focused on discussing and promoting the fluids product in more detail. Now, when we do conduct that, there will be more experimental type videos produced for this particular product. And they will be very useful videos that you can take out and show or send on to your customers. Okay, so there's a video there, but there's more to come. Okay, system benefits. I've taken this from the website. These system benefits are the main benefits that we see from this particular product. First of all, very important thing for any product that's going into the education sector is how rugged the product is. Of course, how rugged a product is becomes even more challenging when you're dealing with liquids. Okay, so we've ensured that we've got rugged metalwork that can stand up to an educational setting, high quality. We've produced this ourselves, and so you've got something there that's going to last the test of time. In the bottom right corner, just down here, another benefit of the system is that the hoses have robust rubber gaskets, and that allows for reliable sealing. Okay, again, something that we've had to take real caution with and really plan well, because we're dealing with liquids in an educational environment. Okay, curriculum. We'll talk much more about curriculum a little later in the slides, but as usual, and again, a message that I tried to convey very clearly to you all, the curriculum is free and online. So we'll talk about the experiments and the worksheets that we've produced for this particular product a little later, but it's all there online for you, free of charge. You can send the links out to the customers whenever you want. They can see exactly what they're going to learn with this particular product. Okay, space saving solution. So we'll look at the size of the product in a short while. This is actually one of the bigger Matrix products. You guys will all know that we are very much about producing portable, desktop-based solutions for education. We try to make these solutions as portable as possible so they can be moved from one lab to another. Okay, labs can therefore be used for multiple purposes on a daily basis. Now, this product is actually, like I say, one of the biggest that we've got, but it remains portable. All of the items can be stored on the system, as we'll see in a couple of slides' time. So it can be stored away at the end of a lab or a class, and you can move this system around quite easily as well. It's a little heavier than anything else that we've made in the past, but certainly something that we would consider to be portable. Okay, software, so control and calibration applications and software. All of the data acquisition software is, again, all free of charge, all there and available on the Matrix website. Of course, you can't use it unless you have the actual hardware system, but it's a different approach to others on the market in terms of data acquisition. It's all there for you to access free of charge. And this one system, this one kit, allows users to conduct 9 individual experiments. We'll go through them in a little more detail again as we move later on through the slides. Okay, so if we look a little about what's included in this system, and again, you'll see this for real shortly. The main hub of the whole product is what we call the workstation. Okay, so the workstation you can see here, it's fitted with 2 water tanks, okay, which have a combined capacity of 3 liters. It's made from rugged steel. Okay, so it's something that's going to stand the test of time and work extremely well in an education setting. Okay, the built-in panel with the holes, which you can see there, allows users to easily clip on required components for each individual experiment that they conduct. And the clip-on of the experiments is done through our swell latch system, which we use on other products, including fundamental mechanics, and I think we use it a little in structures as well, as a system for connecting required components to a panel. This allows students to quickly set up each individual experiment that they need to conduct. When storing the system, the flow pipes, you can probably see just at the top of the workstation, turn and drop. I'm just going to mute someone's microphone. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Turn and drop into the frame to allow the system to be packed away and stored away very easily. We also allow for all of the individual components to be stored on the frame, both on the front and the back of the system, so that at the end of the lab, it can be stored away very neatly and very easily. You'll see at the front there, at the bottom of the workstation, is what we call the drip tray. This doubles as a back panel to enhance the protection of all of the components as well. And in a couple of slides time, that'll make a lot more sense to you when I show you a nice graphic of how it's all packed away and stored. So this is a picture of the full system laid out. Okay, the workstation along with all of the individual parts and components that are required for experimentation. So the first part that you've got is the control box. Now, one of the great strengths of Matrix is our electronic capability. Here at Matrix, because of our background and our strengths in electrical and electronic engineering, we have some really talented engineers in that particular area. And the control box here really does outline that. So what you've got here is a control box that allows for any data acquisition to take place for, I think, 6 out of the 9 experiments. It's housed on the top right, as you can see there, a little gray and black box. You can see on the graphic, I'm sure. That's the control box that runs this whole system. Pump module. Okay, so we have a pump module. We have a pressure and flow sensors. We have a Borden gauge calibration. We have multi-tube manometer, a U-tube and inclined manometer. We have an apparatus for losses in bends, an apparatus for viscosity, an apparatus for center of pressure, and we also have our Venturi tube apparatus as well. You can see them all laid out here on the front of the workstation. They're not all used at the same time. Instead, they are used as the student goes through the curriculum for each individual experiment that they are conducting. Okay. Okay, I've already touched on this, but one important thing that we feel we offer with all of our products is the ability to provide a portable solution that can be packed away and moved lab to lab for varied use of the lab. This is how this system packs away. It's a very intuitive and very clever sort of way that we've done this. But you've got the main workstation, which is essentially what we're looking at here. We're looking at a view from the back end, I think, and also from the side angle as well. And so on the left here, you'll see that what we do is all of the parts connect to the workstation. They each have their own place. The cover that goes over the front has an imprint of the individual components. So you can see exactly where they go on the workstation to ensure at the end of the lab, everything is indeed there. And then a tray goes over the front of that to ensure it's got protection long-term whilst it is being stored. And so all components are connected to both the front and the back, and then that particular, the particular unit can be stored away. On the top there as well, we have other parts. So this here is the viscosity apparatus, the tube that we have here on the left side. On the next slide there, you can see how it lays across the top of the unit in order to be stored away. So this is a really important selling point that you can use to sell this product to your customers. حبيبي حسني. Okay. أهلا حبيبنا. Okay.
بعث لك هلا مسج هذا.
Sorry, I'm just getting a little bit of a.
الله يسعدك غلبتك حسني أنا شكرا لك.
See if I can.
حسني وين حسني أنت حضرتك؟
Microphones.
من نفس نابلس نعم صالح مش من نابلس عظموه. حياك الله. إن شاء الله بلد كذا وياك.
Okay, back to the presentation. Sorry about that. There we go. Should be able to see it again now. Okay, so learning objectives and curriculum. There are a real number of learning objectives. The curriculum is complete now. We're going to have this online very soon. So it's on the website for you to download, send out to customers the link and things like this. What we'll do is when we send a summary of this meeting, this webinar, we'll send you a copy of the curriculum along with that. There are a number of learning objectives. They're listed out here. I'll quickly run through them. there are actually more than this. When you go into the Fluids curriculum, towards the end, you'll find a section which we call the Instructor's Guide. The Instructor's Guide, as you see in all of our curriculums, outlines a number of things, how long to spend on each experiment and things like that. But it also outlines the full learning objectives that your students will be able to learn using this piece of kit from Matrix. But to run through a number of those learning objectives, students learn about calibration of a Bourdon gauge, and they learn about center of pressure on a partially and fully submerged plane. They learn about viscosity apparatus, demonstrating Stokes's law. They learn about the use of manometers and different types of manometer. They learn about Bernoulli's equation and using a Venturi tube as a flow meter. They learn about losses in bends, measuring and comparing pressure losses of different bend geometries. They learn about centrifugal pump characteristics, and we're going to show an experiment about this in a few minutes' time. They learn about series pumps. They learn about parallel pumps as well. So this whole range of learning objectives is addressed using this one kit. And when you get access to this curriculum, you'll be able to see that. The curriculum is a very important part of this kit, as it is with all Matrix equipment. And it's a very well put together curriculum. It's been designed, written by both Matrix engineers, so Michael and the team that we've got here, and also we work with both practicing and former teachers who have taught this type of topic in the past, and so they help us to write the curriculum. We talked about the 9 worksheets. You can see on the left side of this slide the 9 worksheets that we present, and an example on the right side. So it might be a little difficult for you to read, but there we have worksheet 7, which is minor losses in bends. The curriculum is split into what I would say is 3 separate parts. So first, you've got all of the individual worksheets, how to set them up, what they teach, and that type of thing. Then we've got the student handout, and the student handout is essentially where the students will record their results from the experiments that they conduct. So on the right side of this slide, just in the center at the bottom there, you can see an example of the tables where they will record their results for minor losses in bends. Okay, and then the final part of the curriculum, as I mentioned earlier, is the notes for the instructor, and this is where they learn about how to set up the experiments. They learn about how long to spend on each experiment and other notes that they might want to consider and bear in mind when they're running training on this particular product. Okay. So before we move on to the experiment demonstration from my colleague Michael, just a couple more things to mention. First of all is the specification. This is a little unfinished, just need to update this a little, but you will find that we have a full product specification. Now, we are working at the moment on improving our specification documents for all products. This will be a new style specification document. We've got a couple of other products that are in this style as well now. Nice, clear information about size, weight, product codes, power requirements, etc. At the top. Images, we need to update some of those. Clear product description, key features, key learning objectives, and the worksheet exercises that you can conduct using this kit. So this is an unfinished specification that you see on screen here, but this will be made available widely to you very soon, and we'll send it on in follow-up. What we'll also do is ensure that this is in the dealer portal. And again, on each call that I have with you, each webinar, I talk about the dealer portal. The dealer portal houses all of the curriculum, product video, product information, marketing campaigns, example presentations, specifications for all the products. So it's your first port of call without having to email Alistair, myself, or anyone else here to try and find the information you need for a product. If you can't find it, we love you to email us, so please do that. So that's available for you as well. The final thing for me to mention before we move on to a demonstration and then take any questions is the pricing of this particular product. Now, we are actually trying something a little different out at the moment where a lot of you are probably here waiting to hear, how much does this cost? How much is this for my customers? very important information. You'll get that information on an email straight after this webinar. The reason we're not sharing it is that we work in many different markets around the world. Each market works very differently. Sometimes the individuals at our distributors and our dealers, not everyone within the company knows how much the product costs from the manufacturer or supplier from Matrix. And therefore, we decided that on these webinars, we won't talk about the price. We talk only about the system benefits and the features of the product, and we'll follow up with the price very soon after this webinar so that you've got it there and you can start going out to show this to your customers. If you have any questions, though, when you get the price, more than happy to answer those. However, what I will say is this follows a very similar pattern to other Matrix products. And I'm talking about products like electrical machines, process control, structures. This is a product that we have priced lower than the competition, but we feel delivers the exact same learning objectives and benefits of other players in the market in terms of its learning outcomes. So we really feel like we've got a strong product here that's going to appeal to your customer base. Okay, great. Okay, I'll just stop sharing my screen. I'm going to now transfer over the reins to my colleague Michael. Okay, so just bear with me. He's going to run a demonstration.